Talk to me about some of the after boxing shit. Talk to me about the cannabis company and how that started out and where that came from and all that.
Okay, so yeah, so they had in Oakland, California, they first rolled out a program called the Equity Program, which allowed people that grew up in an area that was affected on the war on drugs to sort of have a leg up in the cannabis space. And before any, as we know, 98% of this space is controlled and ran by older white men. So it gave us opportunity to, be in this space in a regulated cannabis industry, in a regulated cannabis space. So anyhow, I applied for it. I grew up in an area that was affected on the war on drugs, and I applied, man, and put my bid in, and I was able to get my permit. I actually had a ton of investors reaching out to me to see if I wanted to partner up with them, but I weeded them out and found someone that actually had the same sort of community, activism mindset as me, and that was Shrine Group. I seen that they had done a lot for the community in different other communities before they teamed up with me, and they had the same vision as helping the people. So it was a good look for me. They're in Los Angeles. They actually own like 22 stores now. And as I mentioned, they had the same vision as me as giving back, as I'm all about giving back. And so it was a no-brainer for me to team up with them. And we partnered up, and took a few years to open up the club, but we've been open for about a year now, and things are doing pretty well.
That's incredible, bro. And I think like that's what you were talking about. There's so many times, right, where it's like the people that have been lobbying or whatever to keep cannabis illegal, to keep locking people up, whatever. They're the first people that try to make money when there's,
Right.
when they smell any green at all. And the
Right.
fact that it's like people in communities that are affected that get first dibs on this, that shit is so important, because if it's just pay to play, you're gonna have the same fucking problems
All day, exactly the same thing. Yep. And I mean, it's kind of crazy that how many people was sort of hating on the space, but as soon as it was illegal, now it's people that's been advocating for it, and it's like, I don't know, it's just sort of just weird to see people like police commissioners that was locking people up now being running security companies to protect it. Oxymoron.
well. And it's like, it's one thing to have a change of heart or whatever, that's cool, but it's just
Yeah.
like, if you're taking the position of keeping it illegal because you're making money off it, but then
Right.
want to make money off it when it is legal, that's just playing both sides. You know what I
No,
mean?
exactly. Like you said, change of heart. That's understood, but yeah, that's two different things, though, for sure.
Yeah, you make money off of the war, but then you make money off of being fucking like security for a store. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
exactly what you said. You know what I'm saying? You're
Exactly.
fucking playing both sides. I think there should be more athletes too that get involved in the cannabis business, because I think there's still like that stigma of like, oh, you can't be an athlete and partake. You know what I'm saying? That it's going to make you ineffective or whatever. And so I think a lot of guys get hesitant, to push that or to get involved.
Right. Yeah, I see that a lot. And I mean, although I'm starting to see a lot of people starting to venture into that space, but it still has that stigma. And I mean, during my career, I wouldn't smoke, but I would definitely, eat some edibles here and there. And, I would use the tinctures or bombs to help me recover from, the rigorous training I would go through daily preparing for fights.
Yeah, and there's so many, not even just boxers, there's so many athletes that are using CBD or whatever cannabis products for, training related pain or discomfort. And I just don't see like how we could still be, making guys like get in trouble for that.
Exactly.
Particularly when they have like opiate alternatives, that are perfectly legal.
Right, which is horrible. And we know that that's an epidemic that's killing people, 150 people a day, so that's, which is, this I kind of that you know that still doesn't sit well with me, and you know how it's regulated, the cannabis industry, and how many people die from um, alcohol overdoses or just even wrecks. How many people die? How it's an epidemic on you know in the opioid space, and just knowing that with cannabis, they're watching everything. They have a seed to sale type thing where they watch it from the seed to the sale. So, it's like, why aren't they watching all these damn pills? Like from pill to purchase, or, from, I don't know, they need to call that something, but because it's rampant in the Bay Area, and it's we had a state of emergency in my city because of the opioid epidemic. And I mean, that should say something right there. They want to regulate something that's actually helping people. And I'm not gonna say opioids aren't helping people, but it's it helps them, but it's just more of a masking. It's not anything that's helping them actually to heal. It's just more of a masking thing to help them to temporarily be okay, or temporarily fight some of the pains or the displeasure that they have at the moment. But it's not it's just an alternative, nothing to to live off of, for sure.
Yeah, and I think there's also, anytime you get something that's from a store that has a certain amount of regulation around it, is a different experience than if you're just like getting some shit from fucking wherever on the corner and you don't know
Right.
what it's been, who's been handling it, how they've been handling it, and
No.
it's like you never know what that experience is going to be.
Right, exactly. I mean, and same thing as even with even in the cannabis industry, I'm not gonna hate on my black marketers, but I mean, shit, it's the same thing applies, I mean, a lot of people, I've been up north, up in Humboldt County for years, and I opened up a boxing gym up there several years back, and I was able to be out there with a lot of the my white homies that big growers and shit. But some of them cats was using some weird shit to miracle grow to actually to have their plants to grow. And thinking about people smoking that, man, ain't really a good look. So I mean, I can imagine um, some of the stuff that people are using and selling out there. But again, I'm what I am appreciative of is the regulated market of them, having to test everything, which is good, because you don't have people just putting anything, as I mentioned, in this herb to have it to grow. This it's regulated, so that's good. But again, they're doing way too much. The taxation is crazy, in this space. And at this point, it's not what people may think is as cracked up to be as it is.
And what do you attribute that to? Like, why do you think that is? Why do you think there's so much extraction?
Because of taxation, each you got the feds, which is shady, that's taking tax, but they don't want to give us any type of tax breaks, any type of tax any type of tax relief. Like we can't write anything off, but packaging, like we can't write anything off in this space, which is crazy. And also, but they still want their money, and then the state, they want their money, and then also the city, they want money on top of that. So taxation is roughly like 32%, which is nuts. You can't find that in any other industry.
Which is ironic, because they weren't getting any money from the fucking black market for the most part.
Right.
But,
exactly. 75% of the market is still being operated out of the black market. So that's where most of the sales are coming from. It's actually, well, I mean, to the people are purchasing in the black market, but 75% of the sales go to the black market. And only obviously 25 is in the regulated space.
And I mean, look, bro, there's good growers everywhere. If you know your grower, they do a good job, whatever, that's awesome. But if we're able to, put it through these channels where there's like standards, you know what I'm saying? It just makes it safer for people, for everybody.
No, for sure.